So, Star Wars Underworld was the cancelled, gritty, dark underbelly of Star Wars that George Lucas wanted to do. We knew a little bit about it, but we got lots of new details, which we're going to cover in this video. Even from the budget, and it was basically scrapped as well because no one would distribute it. That it was going to cost too much. It was like an insane sum of money. It was apparently going to destroy the Star Wars brand. It was just all this kind of nonsense that people were like, "Oh, I think it sounds amazing," quite frankly, but never mind. Hit subscribe if you're new here, guys, or indeed you're a returning viewer that's not yet subscribed. Would really help the channel out, and there's a lot of you that keep coming back that are not yet subscribed, so hit subscribe. Anyway, Star Wars Underworld producer reveals new details about George Lucas's scrapped TV series and its budget. Its budget's like $2.5 billion, just to throw it out there. Mental. Like, actually insane. Anyway. Just crazy. Like, look at this. Longtime George Lucas collaborator, producer Rick McCallum has revealed new details about the scrapped Star Wars Underworld TV series. That includes confirmation that the budget would have been $2.4 billion. I mean, we've heard about Disney's Star Wars shows being expensive. $2.4 billion? I don't know. Apparently he'd written like 20 scripts or something like that. 20 episodes. 2.4 billion. It's a lot, isn't it? It is a lot. But when you think about these new Star Wars shows that are like 8 episodes, between 6 to 8 episodes, and they're like $200+ million. 2.4 billion. I don't know. I don't know if it would have been worth it. But it would have been amazing. Does sound great. So Star Wars Underworld was an ambitious project produced by George Lucas as the first live-action series set in a galaxy far, far away. Dozens of scripts were written, but actually making it proved to be something of a logistical nightmare for Lucasfilm. Yeah, no shit. So ultimately, it fell by the wayside, alongside several other small-screen projects when Disney acquired the studio. Since then, we've seen the Kathleen Kennedy-led studio produce several shows for Disney+, including The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, all of which have done terribly. You know, The Mandalorian Season 1 did well, and then since then it has actually declined, so well done. We know the series was set on Coruscant, and as the title implies, was going to explore the planet's underworld at the height of the Empire's rule. Little else was known, beyond that, but former Star Wars franchise producer Rick McCallum has now shared some new details, including the fact that each episode was going to cost $40 million to produce. I remember a time, right, when $10 million an episode of Game of Thrones was the highest ever. $2.4 billion, right? Because they were going to do 60 episodes. $2.4 billion for 60 episodes at $40 million a piece. It's not horrendous. It honestly isn't. I mean, it is a lot of money. But if you're thinking about the amount of dog shit that has come out of, say, Amazon Prime with Rings of Power for insane sums of money, I'm just saying, this could have been good. I'm just saying. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, it was going to be $2.4 billion. Just mental. So he says this. I think we had over 60 scripts. Third draft scripts. I mean, that's crazy. That's good. That's a lot. Again, the most wonderful writers in the world on it. And again, we created exactly the same experience for everybody at Skywalker Ranch. And again, just a phenomenal group of talent. This is McCallum speaking here. And these were dark, they were sexy, they were violent. Alright? They were just absolutely wonderful, complicated, challenging. I mean, it would have blown up the whole Star Wars universe, and Disney definitely would have never offered George to buy it. Why? Dark, sexy, violent. Disney's like, no. Woke. woke, lame, and gay. We must have that rather than dark, sexy, violent. Anyway, but it's one of the great disappointments of our life. Yeah, and you and me both, mate. But the problem was each episode was bigger than the films. So the lowest I could get it down to with the technology that existed then was about $40 million an episode. So the plan had been for John Williams to score each episode, and it does feel like we missed out on something really interesting here. I completely agree, absolutely. Of course, with Lucas's vision for the Star Wars prequels proving so divisive, who knows what this series would have been when all was said and done. I think this would have been good. In 2020, writer and producer Ronald D. Moore revealed, quote, "I think it was pretty much one big storyline. It was one long tale with episodic things that would happen, you know. There would be certain events that would happen in this episode or this episode, so it was sort of an episodic quality to some of it, but it was telling a larger narrative in terms of the story of those particular characters in that setting. We really had no budget constraints." Apparently not. We just went, for this to pass, okay, let's just take him at his word just to make it crazy and big. And there was lots of action, lots of sets, and huge set pieces. I mean, that's mental, isn't it? That's crazy. And amazing. And I think this would have been cool. I genuinely think this would have been cool. Just the fact that it would have blown up. It would have blown up the Star Wars universe. And the lowest they could get it was $40 million an episode. I love that quote. I really do love that quote. Where was it? Just that quote. It would have blown up the whole Star Wars universe, and Disney definitely would have never offered George to buy it. I think that actually tells me that we really did miss out on something here that could have been fantastic. You know, who's to say George Lucas wouldn't have learnt his lesson from the prequels at that point? For those that don't remember, the prequels were incredibly hated at the time, although now they're loved, blah, 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 blah. But wasn't there was a game, wasn't there? 1313 or something like that? I think it was something like that. And that was basically the game version of this. And that got scrapped as well. And there were some leaks of that not too long ago. That looked cool. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. This would have been epic. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. $2.4 billion. Do you think it would have been good? $2.4 billion for 60 episodes. Okay, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. Remember, you had $20 million an episode or whatever it was for fucking She-Hulk. I would have much preferred to have seen this at the very least. Anyway, thoughts down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.